আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night.
We are back for the final segment of the ILFL Soccer Night show, and there's lots of questions that I have in my head that I want to get out. They may be questions that you want me to ask as well. So, without further ado, let's go. It's the ILFL League Cup sponsored by Tower Hamlets Homes. It's the semi-final games taking place this Sunday. The excitement builds for four teams. Those teams and those games are between Bow and Beaumont Youth and West End versus Leytonstone. If you remember, back to the quarterfinals, and I'm sure Rashid on my left is going to help me out when I get it wrong here. Bow went through on penalties. Beaumont Youth managed to get there with an impressive win. West End managed to sneak their way in, and Leytonstone beat a top team in Stepney to get there. Rash, did I get anything wrong?
Correct, 100% correct.
Thank you. Right. So, predictions.
Obviously, it's a cup semi-final. Everyone's going to give 100%. But on record, you think Bow versus Beaumont Youth, Bow should have the upper hand. Beaumont Youth will be the underdogs. But saying that, in the previous 3 rounds, they beat Robin Hood Tigers, who were top of Division 2. They beat Reach Out, who were at that time top of Division 1. They beat London Tigers, who were Premiership, on top of Premiership. So it can be done. Beaumont Youth's got the resilient, the youth, the pace, the passion, and they're working hard, and they'll give 100%. And obviously, if the results go, it's be a successful season. Already, they're second in the division in the semi-final. For me, from the Beaumont camp, it's a success as it is for the debut season. So, both will give 100%, but obviously, the pressure is going to be on Bow. Bow need to win. I've spoken to Bow manager, and he's feeling the pressure. Rocky Bully's under pressure if he's watching, but it should be a good game. Our fixture, Premiership clash. West End should be favourites, but saying that, we saw what Leytonstone did to Stepney Green. A convincing win as well. It wasn't a lucky win. So again, I expect Leytonstone to come back firing, a chance to be in the final. I think all 4 teams will give 110%, and on the day, it's just a matter of who gets the winning goal.
I agree with you. Hasnat, debut team, Leytonstone, nothing else to play for except for a final of a cup. West End, having another good season. Maybe the league has slipped away from them. Is this a better hope for them for some silverware?
Yeah, I'm going to go for West End purely on statistics, purely on the way they're doing currently, league form. West End are a lot stronger. Robin Hood, I remember, faced West End. West End absolutely destroyed them. I think that they were just a bit under par against London Tigers because of a few players missing. But as we're saying, it's a cup final. Well, it's a semi-cup final. Everyone's going to bring all their players. I'm going for West End to win the Premiership clash.
Wow. And what say you, Shaquille, on the end? I don't want to put any pressure on you, but you've been pretty fortunate with 1 or 2 of your predictions.
I would disagree with Hassan. I would go for Leytonstone. I think they'll get their firepower, the main players, and I think there'll be a good game, but I think they might just edge it.
Leytonstone, and then the other one?
Beaumont Youth. I've said it.
You've been there from day one following Beaumont Youth, haven't you?
Yeah, I think they'll just edge it.
Someone's paid you just a little bit too much money there, Shax. Your thoughts on the semi-final games?
Beaumont Youth, very solid at the back, in the middle, up front. They're quite formidable. Bow, on the other hand, are formidable only if the conditions are right for them, and they can be a very dark horse at times. So let's wait and see what happens. The favourites are obviously Beaumont, but Bow could be a huge surprise. So
West End, Leytonstone?
West End they let it slip in the division, you know, and I think this is something for them to prove that they will try the utmost best to try and beat Leytonstone and go past them. I think they're probably the favourites to go.
I think all 4 teams have had it tough getting this far, and I wouldn't be surprised if we had another penalty shootout in one of those games. But let's see. Good luck to all 4 of those teams who are taking part in the cup rounds. There are very few league fixtures taking place this Sunday. Let's take a look. There are a couple taking place in the 2nd division. These are all, you know, mid and around the bottom of the table. West End Reserve take on St Catherine's under-21. The under-21s of St Catherine's get another opportunity to improve on the week before. Can they take the 2 goals now and double it, and maybe even get themselves a win against the West End Reserves? Here's a chance. A real chance. Riverside take on Almazan. Almazan really need to get out of that losing streak that you're stuck in at the moment. In the 1st division, 2 games again. Bromley Juniors taking on Stepney B. 2 teams who need to bounce back from defeats yesterday. And Weavers now are the team who go on to take on SETA. And are Weavers a team to do Robin Hood a favour? Robin Hood, reach out. I beg your pardon, a favour and maybe take some points off SCTA. And right up there in the Prem, just the one fixture, it's Ireland versus Sire. Ireland just about edging a 9-goal thriller yesterday and getting themselves 3 points. And Sire, can you get yourself 3 points now against a very topsy-turvy Ireland team? We've got some games to come in the Vets League, Nanu, and I know that there were some stats that you wanted to run through in terms of the Vets and the way it's developed over the season so far. So take us through it if you can. I mean, we've got some of the stats here on the screen, particularly with the Premier Division.
Okay, I'll start with the First Division. Obviously, we've got Stepney at the top, played 4 games, 12 points, and they've scored about 11 goals, and they're scoring more goals than anybody else. You can see they're scoring a goal every 15 minutes, so that's quite formidable. With Bondu right behind them,
yes.
If they hadn't played Redbridge and scored those 9 goals, then I reckon their minutes per goal would have been roughly in the region of 17 or 18. So I think they're quite lucky to be, scoring 13 goals per games, per minute. But anyway, Weavers are not far behind, and Tower Hamlets as well, with 2023. So
these are the teams that are impressing in the First Division.
They look very impressive, and you can see that the goals conceded from Stepney is only 1. Bondu only conceded 5. Weavers, a very good team, and they play really, really good footballing. I have to say, I think they probably played the neatest football in that division. They've only conceded about 3 goals. If you look at the player ratings, believe it or not, Tower Hamlets probably have the highest player rating with Abul Hussein. 2 appearances, and he's already scored 3 goals. So scoring a goal and a half every game, and that is very, very good. A goal every 27 minutes. Tariq isn't far behind, 2 appearances, 2 goals. But he's got 2 man of the matches. So
and there are 2 players there from Stepney. Does that say that they've got firepower, performance in all departments, Stepney, over the other teams?
I would have said that, but when I come to the Premier Division, I'll tell you why that isn't the case, or it may not be the case. Anyway, it does help though. With FC Bondu, you've got your Faisal Hussein, who looks like the key man, 3 appearances, 2 goals. So this is your stats for the First Division.
Okay.
And if we move on to the Premier Division, you've got Beaumont at the top, scoring a goal every 27 minutes. Bromley not far behind. Tigers are scoring a goal every 18 minutes, and that is really, really good.
That's good in the Premier Division, despite losing the game.
Despite losing the games. But they're not winning those crucial games. They might be scoring a lot of goals against some teams, but they're losing against others. So that's what it is. Abahani, it looks very impressive, 100, but a goal every 100 minutes.
That just backs up what you say about Abahani. They may score a goal and then they just all sit back and leave it alone. That's it. That's their lot for the night, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, and that's what they've been doing, and they kind of continue with that culture. Now, if you look at the player rating, you've got Rarif and Edson, both London Tigers players, most highly rated players, but the league standing it doesn't reflect the player ratings. I mean, if you look at the First Division, you've got Stepney, 2 of the players at the top, and they're doing very well. But on the Premier Division, Tigers got 2 players at the top, but they're not doing very well.
Is that suggesting that the team around them are not performing as well as these individuals?
That has to be the case, because Tigers, they're playing against some very good teams, very mature teams. Teams have been playing in the Vets League for quite a while. In the First Division where Stepney are playing, there are lots of new teams. And Stepney, don't forget, they waited years to get the right players to come into the league to make a huge impact, and they're doing that, and the plan actually worked out quite well for them. If they hadn't done that, they probably wouldn't be doing as well as they're doing currently, and they just stats.
There it is. You saw the name Iftikhar Ahmed up there. Let me just chip in just very quickly for those of you that saw it. Well done, Iftikhar. I think you scored the goal of the night. Fantastic goal that you scored for Bromley. Looking ominous, as we've said, for those teams. Here are your games for the Vets coming up this Thursday. Let's have a quick look at those and a quick chat. We've got Bromley Legends up against St Catherine's, another team to try and take apart St Catherine's. Another chance for St Catherine's to maybe get 3 points. They've edged out a point last week. Maybe they can get all 3 against a very impressive Bromley team. Tigers, can they go 3 games without a victory? Well, Beaumont would like to think so, but I think that's a very wounded Tiger coming to take on Beaumont now, and I think they should be very scared. The Sire Vets move on to take on the Tower Hamlets Vets. Rash, am I out of line by suggesting that to you?
No, I think this is a good time to play them. While they're down, we'll have them. We'll see what happens on Thursday.
Ooh, I like it. Can't wait to be here next week to talk about the results from that one. In the first division, Riverside and Stepney go up against each other. The Weavers Vets versus FC Bondu. Now there's a game I'd like to see. And the Tower Hamlets Vets take on FC Redbridge. And maybe it's an improving Redbridge. They've gone from conceding 9 to conceding 4. It might be a 0-0 draw. Who knows what's going to happen there. Just very quickly, Hasnat, you are the man of reason. Beaumont sitting top of the Vets League. Tigers, 2 defeats. What's going to happen?
Well, I'm hoping Nanu's stats can be proven wrong and Beaumont come over. However, I am fortunately inclined to the Tigers, so I think, yeah, we're going to see a backlash here.
Definitely the Tigers. Nanu, St Catherine's, I mean, like we said, we keep talking about St Catherine's. Time to get some points on the board against Bromley. Like I said, every game's hard to tell, so it's hard to make predictions, but is that somewhere now where they can get some points?
It's that, St Catherine's are one of those teams that are doing so well, but they don't have the edge over the other teams that they're playing against. It's that extra few % they need to give to win those games, and it's just not happening. And I hope they improve, by this Thursday. They've had a few games to play around with, and I've seen a lot of changes in their teams. I mean, traditionally, St Catherine, what they like to do, they like to rotate their players, and which has been the problem. This season, they haven't been doing that that often as they've been doing previously. Let's see what happens. Let those teams, the players bond together, and I'm sure they'll get some results.
Okay, listen, guys. Thank you very much. We are right out of time. And I know that they're calling me from right at the back, but I just need to throw something up on the screen very, very quickly for you, and we can leave on that. The Anthony Nolan Trust is a cancer trust that is being supported by the Arbor Youth Centre. Listen, we've heard stats very recently about cancer affects 1 in 2 people now. So somebody could be affected by cancer. It could be a family, friend, or somebody you know in your community. They're doing some blood matching samples down at the Arbor Youth Centre on the 26th of February, 5 to 8:30 p.m. Get yourself down there. All they're going to do is take a sample of saliva from you to see if you can save a life, maybe even yours. It's well worth the cause. We'll leave that up there for you guys to look at. Well, my thanks to everybody here on the panel for taking part this evening. My thanks to everybody behind the screen. We got to run because we're being moved on. We'll be back here next week for more ILFL Soccer Night show. Until then, good night.